can't hear when the crowd screams, still ballin' like an offspring. This for all the ones that doubted me. Gotta lose once to be a true winner. Only want the hunters with the blues in her. Eating blood across it where the blood dinner. Juice stay turned like you know. I've been through that water like Olympic swimmers. Only bread and butter what we ate for dinner. So I had to dream it till the dream is bigger. Only.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Hurts. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
47-yard line.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They run for the first time with Justice Hill. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Jackson going to tuck it down on the option. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of 8 that time, and it brings up 3rd down. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Jackson dancing to his left. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
That's a big one.
So, CD, his very first pass of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know that's a major surprise for any quarterback because, look, let's face it, no one thinks about those interceptions. But think about all the warm-up that we saw, right? Every pass he threw wasn't a single interception because, oh, that's right, there were no defenders out there. A little bit different when there's live guys out there chasing the football.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Are in for 6.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip.
Makes the score Eagles 7, Ravens nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Madden. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Fast footwork by Sanders. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Hurts sets up to throw it. That'll be caught later with it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
And this will make it into the end zone.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now it's Edwards. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Defensively, it was Madden with a tackle. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take it.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Now, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a full return and an Eagle touchdown.
Jake Elliott on 4th.
Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant. You've got to hold on to the football, or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. We were down there. That message would have been received a whole different way because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 18 yards on that one. And it'll move the chains. 21-0 our score after one.
Score Eagles 21, Ravens nothing.
Play action. It's Jackson. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab.
Complete.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Jackson from the shotgun. That one complete to Hill. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. 2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Sanders has the 1st down and much more. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive. Elliott good with a PAT. And the route is on here in this 1st half.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. From the gun, it's Jackson. Gets this one to Hill. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
With the give to
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From midfield now, here's Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Here we go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. There'll be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
He's going to keep it again. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
the 30-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Rolling to his right. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
On 2nd down now, it's Hill, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
From the gun, Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, this from 33. Tucker's kick is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Throwing is Hurts. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
Leads to 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here, as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Ravens.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He's got the first down and more past midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Baltimore.
They'll run it out of the gun with Hill. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another in.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted.
Picked off at the 35, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
2nd down. Here's Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And he gets it down to the 32.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now the second down throw on target. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A very solid gain of 27.
The 5-yard line.
They'll run with Sanders. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. Second and goal from the 1.
Come on. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Check 52.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
48 for Mike.
They'll try to run with Sanders. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opted for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision. Let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
All the practice, all the training, all the meetings. In this situation, I know exactly what quarterbacks are taught. Take care of the football. That's job 1 paramount. Because you cough it up here, you might be giving up 6 points real easy.
Tip of the cap to the defense, though, forcing the fumble. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll go again with Sanders. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Ready up. 48 Mike. Here we go. Here we go.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go now. 19 Tiger. 19 Tiger. 60 Vikes. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I just wonder if before that last play, if someone on the defense stepped in the huddle and said, we've been run over, run around, run through all game long. Can we come up with one?
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. From 6 yards away. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Eagles 38, Ravens 6. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. He finds an opening past the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the 4th.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On 3rd down, Jackson steps away to his left. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. From the gun, Jackson.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Jackson throwing on target to Brown. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we've seen both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass. And everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze it throwing the way we should have. I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. You guys really missed the boat on me.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Hill. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
4th down.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. They start on the ground here at Sanders. Despite some tough running, he's still wrangled down shy of the 15. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Rolling to his left. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here's Hurts to throw.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. He was brought down by Darryl Roberts.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. 58's the mic. 58's the mic. Bring it. Take off.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Philadelphia, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll have another home date next week as the New York Giants come to town. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
They don't know my name. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. Tie me up in chains. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. They say fall and you let go, but I know I got an antidote to retain some kind of self-control. Look inside my head through a telescope. You erase all the calls from a telephone. No sense of smile, maybe tell a joke. Holding back your tears, singing minimal syllables. Yeah, look at me, at the asylum. Was a fateful mistake, cause the time ain't up. Yet the parts of my mind don't get much love. If you want in my head, come and call me up. You look like a twisted Robin Hood. Yeah, you take from the rich and the poor and us. Wearing diamond shoes where you walk your pugs in a town you could rate where there ain't no love. Where do I go? When I'm alone? Not on the phone. When I'm on my own. They don't know my name. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. Tie me up in chains. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade.
Stop taking, but still got a reflux. I drip out from the socket to a teacup. Drink up inside. Look when they peep us. Shoes us in the belly of the beach, but outside there's a war going on your front lawn. Black Hawk see the red dawn horizon. Blind yet I'm rising, abiding by laws of attraction. My thoughts still rising. Thinking, what type of knowledge don't sink in? Life gives you lemons, and my only thought is drinking. Thirsty, will I be alive or dead before 30? That's all that concerns me early. Lemonade quenching my inner rage when it takes center stage, way before they pour it on my grave. Minute Maid, let it set my soul ablaze. On each and every way, put me in the water for the save.
They don't know my name. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. Tie me up in chains. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. They don't know my name. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade.
Lemonade, lemonade.
Tie me up in chains. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. Oh.
take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drill. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Yeah, this the winning teams. 6 rings with a pinky ring. Everybody used to pick at me, now I'm the one that they picking. Snakes out, they hit scene, but I can't hear it when the crowd screams. Still balling like an offspring. This for all the ones that doubted me. Gotta lose once to be a true winner. Only want the hunters with the blues in it. Eating blood across it where the blood thinner. Juice stay turned like, you know. I've been through that water like Olympic swimmers. Only bread and butter, what we ate for dinner. So I had to dream it till the dream is bigger. Only want the gold, we don't need the silver. Gotta be number 1, number 2 never count. Used to have bubble guts competition, now point them out. Making my babies proud, wanna call my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, got enough juice to end the drought. Yeah, I buy like 23. Won't fall again, and I put that on me. Yeah, I feel the way, my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah, that's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drill. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Reaching my goals, I do not feel ashamed. I'm a dog, I'm a beast, and I cannot be tamed. I don't do it for fame, it's the love for the game. I go in like I'm trained. I'm prepared for the rain, they amazed. I ain't break from the sticks and stones they threw. Anything that you can do, I can do it better than you. No matter what I do, achieve, still got something to prove. I spent the check on the diamond cross, but still ain't paid my dues. Gotta be number 1, number 2 never count. Used to have bubble guts competition, now point them out. Making my babies proud, wanna call my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, got enough juice to end the drought. Yeah, I buy like 23. Won't fall again, and I put that on me. Yeah, I feel the way, my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah, that's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drill. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here.
No, but I'm on this every day. You cannot run with me, boy, I'm a heavyweight. Baby, I know what's coming, I could barely wait. And when it was on, they wanted me gone, boy, I'm here to stay. Stop calling me little bro, I got mileage on me. Walked in with the whole team and we riding on it. More action and no talk, I went quiet on it. Walked in with the whole team and we riding on it.
I don't be with me so basic. Boy, you the eye of your bros hating. All of them fake, I see ghost racing. I knock them down to their cold cases. Marathon run, I'ma slow pace it. They did not want me to go places. Loyal players like the gold places. With the whole squad, are you ready to told y'all that you better be running? I'm in my go yard when I walk in, I know y'all telling me nothing. I'm a man. Suck it if y'all in denial. I get the chip on them and I bust out the south side. Is that big of the guy? Oh, yo, stop it, quiet. If it's snow, I done got it. See my jewels, shining, white diamonds. Jet, private pilot, look at me, stylish, masterpiece, body, young. Hey,
I don't know no better, I'm on this every day. You cannot run with me, boy, I'm a heavyweight. Baby, I know what's coming, I could barely wait. And when it was on, they wanted me gone, boy, I'm here to stay. Stop calling me little bro, I got mileage on me. Walked in with the whole team and we riding on it. Yeah, more action and no talk, I went quiet on it. Walked in with the whole team and we riding on it.
Hey, couple of bands up in my pocket. I don't want pulse your wild nonsense. We got momentum, don't try to stop it. Diamonds are clearer than my conscience. I don't let bygones be bygones. It's that's when I'm honest. Penthouse building, reach heaven's heights. Nah, that's what you call a God complex.
Remember the days I was down low when it was out cold, but I went out and got it. Look at my milestones, man, it feel like the Dow Jones when you look at my pocket.
Look at the flex, whipping the Teslas. Ooh, I'm a mess, but it's all a finesse. Boy, yo, Stop it, quiet, if it's new, I done got it. See my jewels, shining, shining, white diamonds, Miley Cyrus, private jet, private pilot. Look at me, stylish, stylish, masterpiece, body, young. Hey, I don't know no better, I'm on this every day. You cannot run with me, boy, I'm a heavyweight. Baby, I know what's coming, I could barely wait. And when it was on, boy, I'm here to stay. Stop calling me little bro, I got mileage on me. Walked in with the whole more action and no talk, I went quiet on him. Walked in with the whole team and we riding on it.
Won't you get down with me, down with me, down with me? Oh, you down with me, down with me, down with me. Won't you get down with me, down with me, down with me? Oh, you down with me, down with me? Hold on. I got a crowd wrapping around the whole town for me. They mama proud, got a thou in the balcony. Nah, I don't hear no clown talking foul on me. Won't shoot me down, send the cavalry. It been a while since I had time for me. Won't you get down with me, down with me, down with me? Hello, nice march out with the polo. Like my style, don't y'all? Nice